This is the part 2 of the baby blanket tutorial. The part 1 was ended up by working a round of double crochets around the blanket. In the part 2, we shall start up with the bordering. So for doing the bordering, I have changed the hook size to 3.5 mm. Now over here you can see the 3 double crochets that we had worked in the corner. So we need to join our yarn into the stitch next to the 3 double crochets worked. So insert your hook into the stitch. And for working the bordering, I have used the grey yarn. So pull the yarn and work 8 chains. So here I have worked 8 chains. Now skip the first chain from the hook and going into the next chain, work 1 single crochet. So we will be working 1 single crochet into each chain. So here in all I have worked 7 single crochets. Now we will be slip stitching into the next stitch. Work 1 more slip stitch into the next stitch. Don't work any chain, just turn your work like this. And going into each of the single crochets worked, we will be working 1 single crochet. But these single crochets will be worked on back loop. So going into the back loop of the stitch, work a single crochet. So continue like this, working 1 single crochet into each stitch on the back loop for total of 7 single crochets. So here I worked 7 single crochets. Now work 1 chain and turn your work. Now again we will be repeating the same sequence, that is going into each of the stitch on the back loop, work 1 single crochet. So here I have worked 7 single crochets. Now going into the next 2 stitches over the base, we will be working 1 slip stitch each. So this is the first slip stitch. Going into the next stitch, again work 1 more slip stitch. Now after working a slip stitch, don't work a chain, just turn your work and continue the sequence. That is, going into each of the stitches, we will be working 1 single crochet, but these single crochets will be worked on back loops. So this is the sequence that will be following for the bordering part. So here you can see the ripped single crochet pattern getting formed. So just continue with the sequence till you reach the 3 double crochets of the corner. And in this space of the corner, we will work the ripped single crochets in a slight different way. So just continue like this till the corner space. So here as you can see, I have worked ripped single crochets all the way for the edge. Now I am just 1 stitch away from the 3 double crochets worked for the corner. So here as usual we will be working 2 slip stitches so as to reach the first stitch of the corner. So this is the first slip stitch and this is the second one. Now, as I mentioned, the corner space will be worked quite differently. Here, into each of the corner stitches, we will be working 4 rows of single crochet on back loop. So now I have worked the first slip stitch into the first stitch of the corner. Now turn your work and going into each of the stitches on the back loop, work 1 single crochet. So here I have worked 7 single crochets. Now work 1 chain and turn your work. Now we will be working the second row. So going into each of the stitches, work 1 single crochet on the back loop. So here I have done with the second row. Now going back into the same stitch, that is the first stitch of the corner, work the second slip stitch. Now turn your work and going into each stitch on the back loop, work 1 single crochet. So I have completed the third row. Now work 1 chain and turn your work and continue the sequence of working 1 single crochet per stitch on the back loop. So for the first stitch of the corner, in all I have worked 4 rows of single crochets worked on back loop. Now we will be moving to the second stitch. So for that, work the first slip stitch into the second stitch and the sequence repeats. That is, you will be working 4 rows of single crochets on back loop for the second stitch, and same way we need to work the third stitch as well for the corner. So turn your work and continue with the sequence. And also remember that each stitch of the corner will have 2 slip stitches worked into it. So continue like this till you have worked 4 rows of ribbed single crochets into each of the corner stitch. So as you can see, we have worked 4 rows of ribbed single crochets for each of the corner stitch. That is in total of 12 rows of ribbed single crochets, and that is why we are getting the nice curved shape for the corner. Now we shall start with the edging in the same way as we have done the edge over here. So for that I have worked the first slip stitch into the stitch next to the corner stitch. Now turn your work and work 1 row of single crochets on back loop for a total of 7 single crochets. Now work 1 chain and turn your work. Again work a row of single crochets on back loop. So here in all I have worked 7 single crochets. Now as we are done for this side, we need to work 2 slip stitches. So going to next stitch, work the first slip stitch, and into the next work the second slip stitch, and the pattern repeats. So continue with this pattern for the entire round, and whenever you come across the 3 double crochets of the corner, we need to work in total 12 rows of rib single crochets as I have shown over here. So continue like this, and once you reach the end, I shall show you how to join the 2 edges together in order to complete the bordering part. Now as you can see, I have almost come towards the end of the bordering part, but you can notice that I have changed the yarn color to white since I was a little bit short of grey yarn. So what I did is I worked 2 edges with grey yarn and 2 edges with white yarn. You need not follow this pattern. You can continue with the same yarn color for the entire bordering. By the end of this video, I shall give you the entire view of the blanket. Now let us join the 2 edges together. So for that I have cut the yarn with a little long tail which can be used for joining the parts. I put the yarn into the tapestry needle. Now let's join the parts together. So holding the edges like this, going to the back loop of the stitch over here, as well as the part of the stitch on this side, join the 2 edges together. Now go on the back side and tie knots. Now cut off the excess of yarn. So that completes our baby blanket tutorial. Now you can also work any kind of flower applique and sew them onto one of the corners of the baby blanket. That all depends upon your choice. So I hope you found this tutorial really very useful and interesting too. In case of any queries, please let me know through comments. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.